Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is CJ. I've been working on something special for you guys, and I'm finally able to get it uploaded and share this with you. A lot of you all have questions as far as where I get my equipment and corals and, different things with my tank. I figured I'd go ahead and take you guys to where all the magic happens. And we have arrived. This is going to be my local fish store. It's called Aquatica. I'll say 5-10 minutes away from my house, and it's located in Louisville, Kentucky. Some of you guys may have known that already, but if you didn't know, that's where I live, that's where I'm from. Born and raised. Derby City, Churchill Downs, horse racing, whatever you want to call it. But definitely want to share this store with you guys. Basically the plan, I'm going to give you guys a full tour. We're going to talk a little bit with the owner, really cool guy. And then I'm going to, of course I got to include some candy for you guys. And last but not least, got a really special fish in here I'm going to show you as well. Now, over the last couple of years, especially since I started my first reef tank, I spent a lot of time in this store. It's really 2 or 3 stores that I visit in Louisville, but by far this is my favorite one. And that's part of the reason I want to share this with you guys because, some people are wondering where I get my stuff, or some of you guys even may be close to Louisville and you may want to know where you can drop in and get what you need. So I'm going to take my time, give you guys a full tour. It's going to be a lot longer than usual with my vids. So just be prepared. Hopefully you guys enjoy all the candy I'm gonna have in this video for you. And as far as the equipment and products, he has everything in here. I mean, from the Foss Band and Chemi Pure to the poly filter pads that's been going crazy on the internet as far as people buying them. From the feeder things, nori, tank clips, lights, I mean, everything. I mean, he has the normal stuff you would get. And then he also has the high-end equipment as well. The normal T5 lighting, the marina LEDs that honestly I wouldn't use are the current. But if you want the real deal, he has those as well. As far as the Kessels and, the quiet drives. He even has the gyro in here, which I've been kind of looking at. I got my eye on it, so I'm pretty close to pulling the trigger and going ahead and getting it, but I'll keep you guys updated on that. Look at that thing right there. I'm telling you what, seeing it in person, it really makes it difficult not to want to buy one of these pumps. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, as far as your water change and salt needs, he pretty much got you covered there as well. Me personally, I'm still using my Reef Crystal, which he is trying to convince me to switch from, but he carries the Red Sea for you guys that like that, and a few other different brands of salt that I'm not even gonna catch in this vid. But as far as sand and, the general things you need, it's a one-stop shop, that's all I'm gonna say. But if you guys are falling asleep or are bored with the equipment like I am, let me wake you up with a little bit of candy. All right, so that's going to be it with the supplements and equipment he has for sale. There's more stuff, but we can spend all day over there talking about that. I really want to get to the things you guys want to see. The corals, the fish, what's he got in here that you may want. And honestly, there's tons of stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's like a kid in a candy shop. I mean, it's very difficult. I always come in here for one thing, end up leaving with way more. And it's pretty much been the trend for the last year with me having my JBJ. So, but as far as his tanks, really clean setup, really digging it. For guys who need live rock, he has a cured live rock in here as well. Actually, a guy just wheelbarrowed 3 big boxes of it out as I was here. And the store is open, so I'm trying to navigate around customers that are in here as well. But as far as the fish, sometimes you see fish on YouTube and in people's tanks online, and you don't really get a feel for how beautiful they really are. These Antheus, man, those things, they ain't no joke. If I could keep them in my tank, I promise you I would. But I'm gonna kind of give you guys a quick run around. He has 3 of these tanks set up, and it's open on both sides with dividers down the middle. So all of these fish are not in one huge tank. They're all kind of sectioned off. As you can tell, they're all healthy specimens. Everyone looks happy. As far as the tanks go, water's always clear. I mean, it's always nice to walk into a store that is well taken care of and well maintained. Now, I'm still stuck in the nano world, so this side of the tank I usually try to avoid because I just tease myself. But for video's sake, I gotta share it with you guys. These angelfish, man, I don't even know the names of all of them, but they are gorgeous, especially that dark one with the stripes. The camera's not even picking up the color on that guy. Man, he would come home with me today if I could. But one word of advice, if you do think about coming to this store, be ready to buy something, because if you think it's still going to be here when you come back, you are mistaken. Now, the next thing I want to show you guys is going to be something I refer to as Clown City. Pretty much keeps all the clownfish in this one area. You know, everything from the normal standard clowns, the black clowns, even your designers. Now, the designers, I will admit, they are usually gone by the time I make it in the store. People buy them up so fast, which makes me want to buy something today, honestly. But I have some clowns in the tank right now that I may end up trading, because as we walk around, there's going to be a pair of black ice clownfish in here that, honestly, if I had the money, I would buy right now. These things are gorgeous. But hey, the good news is in this hobby, you can always come to the fish store and you'll eventually always will find something. Now, as far as your other needs, you know, shrimps, crabs, he has them all in this area as well. You know, your pistol shrimps, your cleaner shrimps, fire shrimps, you know, shrimp goby pairs, everything you need's in here. Look at these fish, man. Damn. Beautiful, man. I've never had those in person. I've seen them on YouTube, other people's tanks, but now I know where you guys spent the money on things. Is nice. But other than that, that's gonna kill it for the clowns. So let me give you guys a quick intermission, feed you some more candy, and then we'll be back. Now, for those of you who don't really care about the fish, or, you know, and this, you know, equipment and all that crap, you just want to see the corals, this is the part of the video for you. So pull up a chair, pay close attention. I'm gonna do my best to try to get some good shots of this for you. But as far as this tank, this is where he keeps a majority of the corals, but every tank in here he sells from. But as far as frags, if you want to call these frags, this is where you want to look. Honestly, these look like frags to me. These look like, you know, colonies. Basically shit that's too big for my own tank. But hey, this video is not just for me, it's for you guys. So for any of you all that, you know, may be in the area, I would recommend coming in the store maybe midweek, or Thursday or Friday, because he gets shipments midweek. So that way you can get the newest stuff that came in. Otherwise, if you wait till the weekend, you may miss some nice pieces. It's happened to me multiple times, and I'm still waiting on one of those red gonoporas, I think that's what it's called, to come in so I can add one of those to the tank. But as you can tell, he also has mother colonies here as well. You know, as far as his monopora, there's a big colony of Hollywood stunner chalice, I believe that's what it's called. Different leathers, you know, the easy corals, Kenya trees, and all that stuff that, you know, beginner hobbyists may need. Now, me personally, I normally look through here, try to pick out the smaller pieces at this point because I don't have much room in my tank. And I did end up leaving with some corals, but I'm not going to tell you which ones. I got to share that, you know, save that for my own update. But something cool I do want to show you. He actually has a breeding pair of Bangkok cardinals in here. This is the mother and father, and I'm going to show you the babies here. They're actually swimming around in the frag tank. The funny thing is, the first time I swung the camera past these frags, I had no clue these fish were even in here. I completely forgot until he reminded me. So it's pretty cool. Hey, he even has some breeding going on in his systems. These fish are thriving. They're actually, you know, I would say they're pretty spunky to be so small. But just another neat thing in the hobby I want to share with you guys. Something you don't see every day. Now, once a lot of the customers cleared out, I was finally able to stop sneaking around with my camera trying to get little shots and sat down with the owner. We had a really good conversation about the hobby. Got to ask him a few questions. So the audio's a little choppy because of the background noise, but you guys should be able to enjoy it. All right, everybody, we are here with Paul, the owner of Aquatica, the new owner, actually. It's he purchased the store. How long ago did you get it?
About a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago. So he's a new owner of this store. I'm gonna take you guys through all of the tanks and coils, but right now we're gonna give him a moment to tell you a little bit about this tank and a special fish he has in here. But before we do that, just a couple questions, if you don't mind, Paul.
Sure.
How long you been in the hobby, man?
20 years.
20 years. Hey, been doing it way longer than me. And, what did you do for most of the time? Just personal tanks?
I worked wholesale and then retail. Wholesale for a couple of years, retail for probably 12 to 13 years, and then owned my own aquarium service business for about 8 years, and then have owned this. So been in the business a little over 20 years.
There you go. Hey, you can always take advice from a man that's been around that long. So one thing I am kind of curious about, like, are you going to be making changes to the store? You got any future plans? Or
yeah, just mainly just dress up stuff, you know, just to kind of clean it up a little bit more. Not going to be adding any bigger, you know, any systems or anything. Probably have a display tank coming within the next 6 months, probably around a 250. Otherwise, just, you know, maybe some cosmetic changes to these stands, you know, things like that. Nothing real major. Mainly just keeping it clean and full.
Hey, well, you're doing a damn good job. It looks really, really nice in here. Are you ever gonna sell online, or is this gonna just stay local? Or
probably stay local for a while. You know, there's just a lot of logistics with keeping up with an online sales and shipping, but it's definitely in our future plans.
Hey, sounds like a plan. How many gallons is this? This is your main display right here for the store?
Yeah, it's kind of a display. I mean, I sell out of it, obviously, but not the fish, but the corals. It's a 4 foot by 3 foot by about 17 inches tall. It runs right around 120, 130 gallons.
Okay. What kind of light? That metal halide?
Yeah, it's got two 175 Phoenix 14Ks, two HEI Blue Plus, and two HEI Purple Plus.
Hey, it looks good. As you all can tell, it does not bleed my camera out, which is shocking. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, none of my store fixtures run blue like you see online. I like to let everybody see what it looks like naturally, you know. So if they want to run heavy blues, we have a blue LED flashlight we can shine on corals to kind of give people an idea of what they look like under, you know, heavier blues that a lot of people like to run.
Oh yeah, I remember you showing me that last time. All right, so there is a fish in here. Now I think he's crazy for having this fish in here, but I had to walk in the door and he had to tell me about it immediately. It's this guy right here. Tell me a little bit about this fish.
So this is a Gem Tang. I've been doing this 20 years. I've heard about them. Never owned one, never actually had one in a shop that I've worked at. They're from off South Africa, around Mozambique, South Indian Ocean. The big thing about them is just they're rare. Really, really rare. Otherwise, they're a zebrasoma, so just as easy as a yellow tang or a sailfin tang. Anything like that, you know, I mean, hell, an Achilles tang's probably hard to keep than this guy. So it's not so much that they're hard to keep, it's just a rarity. So, like I said, these are going to run, you'll find them, if you can find them, like $2,300 to $2,500.
Man, I hope y'all heard that. Say it one more time, how much?
$2,300 to $2,500.
And this man has it in his tank at his store.
It's like a used car.
Yeah, I think shit, it's more than that. But gorgeous fish. I mean, he has a couple beautiful fish in here. I see also it's a chevron tang in there as well.
Yeah, chevron, and of course blue damsel that never meant to be in there, but I'm not about to tear the tank down to get him out.
Oh no, he's in there. But yeah, so how long can we plan on seeing this guy in the tank? Is he going to be home here soon?
Yeah, I believe he's going to stay here. I had somebody interested in him. I actually could have sold him yesterday, but the fella has a 300, but he has about 7 tangs in it. One of them being a big sailfin, and me doing it this long and a fish that rare, I don't want to sell it to somebody that there's even a possibility of them killing it or it getting beat up for no reason. I mean, there's not enough of these around to sell it to somebody that is just going to kind of haphazardly put it in a tank and just see if it survives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, even for the money, I'd much rather it just live here and everybody come see it.
Yeah,
I made a joke to somebody the other day. Everybody comes in here, gets their camera out. I'm going to put a sign, $2 per picture.
Oh man,
I should pay for it in a couple of years.
There you go. I wonder how much damn video costs. Look, but hey, that's amazing, man. Well, quick question: is there anything you can give as far as advice for new people in the hobby that may want to come in here and
The biggest thing that I always try to tell people starting off in this hobby is, and just like I preached through the years, is you need to treat it like an ecosystem. There's a lot of snake oils and this and that on the market that claim to make things better and easier. It's a closed ecosystem. Set it up as such. Have exports. Do your monthly water changes. Have good protein skimming. Just set it up naturally. You can overthink a tank, put too much stuff on it, too many gadgets, too many this or that. Me being a little bit older school, I like heavy skimming and monthly water changes, live rock, live sand, water movement. I mean, it really doesn't get much easier than that. I know there's a new craze with the dry rock and stuff, and like I said, it works. And like I tell people too, there's 100 different roads to the same destination. Some roads are curvier and hilly, some roads are straight to the place. So dry rock, I think you're taking a scenic route to the same place you would do if you had live rock. Takes a little longer, a little bit more patience involved in that. But otherwise, I think do it with what sets with your budget, and just try to keep it as natural as possible.
Hey, that's solid advice. I hope you all heard all of that. You all see my tank. Like I said before, my tank, everything in there, I would say 95% of the corals and fish come from this store. And I'm showing you all how I run my tank. Very simple, and you can tell it works. So, man, he knows. There is one other thing I did want to ask him. We're going to take him over to the light. So, all right. Now, it's always one of the main questions in the hobby is lighting. And everyone has different budgets and preferences, but you got every kind of light you can have on the tank in here, from the Chinese LEDs to the higher ends. What kind of your first impressions, I guess? I don't know how long you've had these on this tank. What kind of lights are these? And
these are the Hydra 52s by Aquatica Illumination. I really like them. They were the first higher end LED I hang up. They work really well. I guess the only thing that I can differentiate between, like, say, those and the next ones down being the Radions is that, like, these have kind of a frosty lens. So I don't know if it shows to the camera, but when you're here in person, the Hydras tend to have almost a pastel kind of look to it. It's not super crisp, and I think that's because they frost the lenses pretty heavily. So I mean, they look great, but I think it cuts down on shimmer, and I think it's just a softer look. It's not a real, defined color look. I like them. I think they do great. Never had anything do bad under them. I think probably my favorites would be the Radions. Radions are obviously high end, really nice. These are the XR30Ws. They're not the pros, but these are great. Really crisp color, compared to the Hydras. Good shimmer, good all around. I've had several people try these. I have a lot of people successful with a lot of SPS, things like that. So really no complaints to these. These are probably my favorites, just because of the crispness of the color. And then we get down to the Kessels, and I probably sell more Kessels than anything, mainly the price point. I mean, you're looking at 400 to 650 to 600. So it's a couple $100 cheaper than a Radion. I think they look good. The shimmer, you can't beat the shimmer for sure. They're very known for that. I've had acros underneath these that I've cut that have had no problem encrusting onto the plugs. I know a lot of people kind of are questioning Kessels on how they do with SPS. I've had customers with Kessels, and they've had plenty of success with SPS. I mean, I don't know necessarily if it'll grow it faster or as fast as a Radion, say, or not nearly as fast as a metal halide, but you'll get growth. It's just going to be a little slower, I think. Downfall of these, they're just kind of blue and white. You don't get the reds and the greens and the different color blues. But I think for the light and the price point and the compact design of them, I think they're a fantastic light.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, they look good, and it's really neat. As we went down, I can really see the comparison of the shimmer. Kessel is blowing the other two lights out of the water as far as shimmer.
Yeah.
But honestly, the radions in the middle, these have shimmer, but they are crystal clear as far as recording on the camera. A lot of you guys like recording the phones, and out of these three lights, these radions look the best. So that's a neat little thing I just figured out too. But hey, there you go. That's from Paul the man himself.
Right.
20 years in the hobby. Someone's been around that long, their opinion definitely has weight. So you guys take that, learn from it, and just as I will. I'm always in here picking his brain. I try to frequent the store at least. I try to get in here at least once a week, sometimes more without the wife knowing it. But that's it. So hey, thanks man. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
And hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, by this point, I've probably been in the store for, roughly a couple of hours, trying to get footage, try not to catch customers on film because, some people don't want to be recorded. But then just chopping it up with Paul, talking about the hobby, about stuff he has coming in. He actually had another multi-bar in here as well. I had him test feed it. It packed out new Life Spectrum pellets, but he ain't eaten yet, so you know how I feel about that. So I'm going to wait. But if he is eating, he'll let me know, and then the multi-bar experiment will be back on, I'll tell you. But it was really neat seeing that $2,500 fish. I didn't expect to see a fish that cost that much in person. And I was glad that I was able to share that with you guys. So, like I said, this is my first time ever doing a video this long and doing a video on a local, a fish store. So hopefully you guys, enjoyed the fish store itself. And for the new people in the hobby, hopefully you got to enjoy the conversation I had with Paul. Guys with that much experience, and that been in the hobby that long, you always got to take what they say with some weight. You can't ignore it. So me, I always like having conversations with them. Helps guide me in my tank as well. So with that being said, if you guys think that I showed you all this candy and didn't leave with something, you crazy. Definitely left with something, but that's for another update vid. So we're going to go ahead and call this a wrap at Aquatica. So if you guys enjoyed the vid, or you want to see more vids like it, drop me a comment. I may even stop in and maybe do some small chit chat interviews with Paul, every now and then, just talking about subjects in the hobby. I think that might be pretty cool. So, but other than that, as you can see, I got stuff floating, but this is for another update. I'll share that with you all later, what I got new. So definitely, hey, like, comment, subscribe. You guys do what y'all do. Y'all be easy. Hey, happy reefing. Peace.